Hello everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tails Crafts, and I'm back today sharing my adorable little book corners from our newest release. So the book corner bundle includes 3 add-on dies that create the different animals, and then the main die, which you're seeing here, creates the actual book corner, and it includes some really pretty decoration pieces. You have the woodland critters, the pet critters, as well as the barn animals. And each set has 4 different animals, and I will be showcasing a few animals and then some of the bookmarks you can create with just the book corner die set. So here I have one that I already made. This one is meant to look like my cat Goose, and you can see that these book corners just go at the top of your page. I like to take 5 or 6 pages and stick them into the corner, and then you have a really cute bookmark. You can also put them on the bottom right corner. So some of the animals have the noses at the point of the triangle, and some have the ears at the point of the triangle. So some will go at the bottom left, like this kitty here, and some will go on the top right of your book. And you'll see that as we construct these. I did do a few of them off camera because, like I said, there are 12 different animals that you can create. So I will just show you a few of them. But first we're going to create a couple that you can design with the original book corner die set. So these pieces are all included in that one set, and you can get at least 4 different looks. I'm going to show you 4 that I made, but just by changing up the colors you can get a lot more variety. You can also mix and match the different die cut elements. So for this first one I wanted to pair the leaf images together. So I die cut the solid layer from dark green, and then I cut these leafy detail pieces from a slightly lighter green color. I have 2 squares that I am layering together, and then I die cut the triangular leaf piece again from a lighter green, and then the solid dark green triangle to go behind it. So these are going to perfectly match together. I did die cut the base of the corner from heavyweight craft cardstock, and all you do is fold down those top 2 triangles. I'm folding the left triangle down first, and on top of it I am adding double-sided tape. So this is the top part of the triangle. I'm not adding tape to the bottom because I want that corner to slip into the pages of my book. So I'm just adding some strong double-sided tape to the top of the left triangle that I folded down, and then I'll add a little bit of liquid glue as well, and then fold down that right triangle right on top. And there you have your little book pocket, and it's very simple and easy. And the die cut does all the measuring and cutting for you, which is nice. So you can create a bunch of these in one go. These would be perfect little crafts to do with kids. I think they'd be cute teacher gifts as well. And if you are a teacher, these would be cute to hand out to your students at the end of the year. But I went ahead and glued one of those leafy squares to the inside of the pocket, and now I'm going to add the leafy triangle to the top portion so that everything matches really nice. Now, I actually made these book corners as our make and take at the Scrappy Tails booth in our recent expos that we've attended, and I will also be doing these next week at Novi, Michigan. So if you are in the Michigan area, I encourage you to check out Mega Meet in Novi. It is probably the biggest scrapbooking and card making convention in the country, and we will be attending. We'll be doing these book corners as one of the 3 make and takes. It's actually a 3-day show, and so far everyone is loving these as a make and take. They're so fun to assemble, and you can really customize them to how you like. So the set also includes some little flowers that I cut from white cardstock, and I'm just going to scatter them around the leaves to add a little bit of detail. The die set also includes the words "one more chapter," which fit perfectly on the back of the book corner. So when you flip your page over, you can see that text. There's also a smaller text that says book lover that you can put on that triangular piece at the top. So like I said, there are so many combinations you can do with just the original set. I did die cut one more chapter 3 times from heavyweight cardstock, and I will stack them together. Now, you really don't have to do this because these book corners really are supposed to be flat so that your book doesn't, I guess, open too much when it's inside the book. So I would honestly, if you're recreating these yourself, I would just go with one layer for this. But I did want this to pop out, and I did end up, like I said, using these as make and take, so I had these out on display. All right, so I'm going to just glue that right to the center on the back side, and that's it. That's all you have to do to make a very adorable book corner. I did all of my pre-die cutting for 16 book corners before I started filming this video, so you're going to notice as I continue that I am pulling out different bags that have all my die cut pieces, and I just prefer, that's my way of crafting. I kind of like to do all the hard stuff first that doesn't require much creativity at all, and then once I have all my baggies, I can just create a bunch of them in one go. So here's my next baggie. I chose a blue and gold color scheme. Craft is the base for all of these book corners. I just feel like it's a nice neutral. I didn't have to think too much about it. So same thing, I'm going to reinforce the score lines on those top triangles. I'm going to fold down the left triangle, and then the right one is just going to glue right on top. You can do it the opposite way. These are the same triangle that layer together, so it's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure that these are going to lie on top of each other nicely. And this time, I guess I folded down the right triangle, and to the front of that, I will add my strong double-sided tape. I also die cut some of those solid squares and triangles from pattern paper this time. That's a nice way to add some interest to these book corners without having to stamp or do any fancy stenciling. Pattern paper is really great for these. And I think the appeal in them is that you can make so many of them in such a short amount of time. So I went ahead and folded over that left triangle right on top of the tape, and now I have my book corner ready. Here I'm just laying out how I want this to look. I have a solid tealish color triangle for the top, and then, like I said, I cut the squares from some leafy pattern paper. This paper is new from our most recent collection. I thought about doing blue on blue, but I really liked the darker blue with the gold butterfly on top. And again, this butterfly is included in the original book corner die set. There is 3 different triangle options, and then that solid leafy square that you can add to them. So I'm happy with the way this looks. I'll go ahead and glue the square into the pocket. This will leave a border all around. So then I will glue my dark teal triangle to the top, and then my gold butterfly will go right on top. So very simple. I did add my dark blue butterfly behind the gold one for a little bit of dimension, but like I said, you really don't have to do this. I think having them as flat as possible is more beneficial to use inside of a book. And then on the back side, I'm going to do another leafy pattern, or no, sorry, I'm going to go with the solid teal. And then in the center, I'm going to add the word book lover this time with 2 flowers on either side of that. I also debated using this butterfly from that frame. I decided to cut the butterfly out, and I thought about using it on the back just as a centerpiece on its own, which I think would have been cute if I would have cut another gold butterfly. I also thought about combining it with the book lover, but both pieces were a little bit too big. But I think in the center of the back it would be really pretty. But I ended up going with the text instead. So I know I've been gone from YouTube for a while. I have been going to consumer shows, and they have been a lot of fun. I will be traveling a lot more this summer, and if you are interested to see us, we will be going to Texas, Pennsylvania, and Illinois. Those are the last three. And then, like I said, next week we're going to the Detroit area. At every show, we also teach classes, which have been very fun. So if you're someone that has been considering to purchase one of our pop-ups, but are a little bit reluctant because you want to build one in person, the classes are a great way to do that. And it's just been a lot of fun. It has been my favorite part of my job so far. I started during COVID when consumer shows had to shut down for quite a few years. So they're just now kind of becoming popular again. So if you're interested in attending one of these shows and you're in those areas, just reach out to me. I can give you more information. We're traveling with Scrapbook Expo as well as the CKC shows. And that'll be through early August. And then we have obviously fall, Halloween, and Christmas right after. So it'll be a very busy year for me, but I'm having a great time. So here's the finished book corner, the back side, and then this will be the front side. I kept the front very simple. And now I'm going to show you one more book corner that you can create with the original set. But here you can see how it looks inside the book. This one's a little bit flatter, but I just love that you can flip to either side and both sides look really pretty. All right, so the last one I'm going to do is this pink design. Again, the base I cut from craft cardstock. I cut a little bit of pattern paper from the new paper pad as well. And same thing, I'm going to fold down one of those triangles, and on the front I will add some double-sided tape. These are the easiest little crafts to put together. That's why I said they'd work well for kids, especially with the animals. And some of the animals have more layers to them than others. You can also swap out their eyes for Google eyes, which is a little bit easier for kids. So this time I cut another butterfly frame from dark pink, and I wanted the craft to be showing around the outside of the frame. So I'm just going to glue this directly onto the book corner. Thought about putting the black butterfly in the center, but I ended up just going with the pink. This pattern paper has some really pretty text on it. I'm going to slip that inside the pocket and then glue my butterfly frame right on top, so the craft is still peeking through, which is pretty. This one's definitely the most simplistic out of the four that I made. I'm also going to add a light pink butterfly body to the center. Then on the back I have solid pink, but I ended up wanting, again, the craft to show through these lace pieces. So these are another triangle option that you can add to the front of the pocket. But if you combine them together, you'll get a square that can decorate the back of the book corner. So that's what I did. I cut these from a darker pink paper. I'm going to glue one to the bottom and one to the top. And then in the center, I'm going to glue my one more chapter, which again, I cut once from light pink and twice from heavyweight white cardstock so that that would stand out a little bit more. And I just think that's really pretty. And the little book corner bundle set is selling very quickly, especially because, like I said, I use these as my make and take at the different consumer shows. So if you are interested in these, I will have them linked down below. There is a bundle price. You get 5% off if you get all of them. So here's the front and back of that one. And now we're going to do a couple animals. So I believe I do 2 from each of the add-on sets. So from the Woodland critters, I will be doing the fox I have all of my pieces pre-cut, so I'm going to just take them all out of this little baggie. You can see there are some very small pieces that make up the face. And with all of my layering dies, you do not have to add all the detail. In fact, a lot of people tell me that they will use a fine liner to fill out the pupils of the eyeballs, or in this case, the little tips of the fox ears. You do not have to cut everything from itty bitty pieces of cardstock, but paper piecing is my favorite technique, so more often than not, I will do the entire detailing for my different layering dies. So this time I cut the base from a cream cardstock, again from heavyweight, because this will be taken in and out of my book a lot. I'm actually someone that desperately needs a bookmark, and I ended up, like I said, displaying these, so I don't even get to use them, but I plan to make more for myself. But when I went to design this specific collection, I knew I wanted some bookmarks, because I am the person that will use like receipts or anything that I see nearby, especially paper, because I'm a paper crafter, to use as a bookmark. So I absolutely love how practical these are. Just going to remove the double-sided tape and fold down that other triangle on top. And then the woodland, or all of the animals, have their own triangles that you start with, and you can see that there is the engraved lines so that you know where to paper piece everything. So this little fox has the, I guess, cream detail layer that goes like a V across his face, or her face. I feel like she's a girl because she has eyelashes. And then the snout is like a little tuft of white that I added. I cut the center of her ears from pink. And then there are tiny black pieces that go on the tip of her ears that I'm going to add now. I zoomed in a little bit so you can see these. And some of the animals have very simplistic eyes that are literally just a little dot. And then some of them have the multi-layered eyeballs, such as this fox. So I'm going to show you all the detail on the eyes. I do want to say that these animals can also work with our A7 pop-up pumpkin die set. You know how we brought out all those characters for Christmas, Halloween, and Easter. Well, you can use these as well to create faces. And I'd love to do a video on that. Like I said, do not have a lot of time because of these shows, but you can definitely use these as add-ons for that pumpkin too, which I think is nice that you can use it for more than what it's intended to be used for. Each set also includes some paws that you can add, which are very cute because those paws tuck into the pages of the book. So I will add those. I cut the first layer of the eyeball from black, which creates the eyelashes. Then I did the eyes in white and the pupils again from black. You can do black pearls if you want. I will go ahead and glue this triangle to the pocket. And here's an example where the nose is facing the point of the triangle. So this fox would go to the bottom right of your book. I cut the square, the solid square from white, which I believe I add to the back side. I'm not sure. But I'm going to take this pocket so that I know where to glue my tail. I want the tail kind of sticking out so that when the book is closed, you would just see the tail of the fox. So I took my book so that I could figure out exactly where to glue that tail behind the book corner. Then I'm going to add his little paws to the bottom right, to the left and right side of his black nose. And the tail you can glue also straight to the back side, kind of like we did with the One More Chapter. It's up to you. But I love that you can see his paws and his tail when the book is closed. Okay, so then on the back I'm going to add my white square. And this is where you could also add a message if you were gifting these to someone. And now I'm going to create the raccoon from the same Woodland Critter add-on set. This one also has a tail, Some of the animals have tails and some do not. But I cut the base of the corner from black this time. Going to add double-sided tape to one of those triangles that I folded down. I do like tape because it's instant, but you can also use glue here. So I'll fold that right on top. I have my pocket, and now we can paper piece all the layers on the raccoon. And because there is the engraved lines, it's very simple to add all these pieces. So I cut the base of the triangle from a dark gray, then the mask of the raccoon from a light gray, and then the details of his eyes from black, as well as his nose. Also cut the tufts of his ears from a black color. And then this time I'm going to use Google Eyes just to show you how simplistic you can make these animals. So here I'm trying to find the right size Google Eye, but isn't that just adorable? So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on. And then the raccoon's face is done. I'm just going to add the stripes onto his tail. And I think with this raccoon, I just glued the tail right in the center on the back side of the book corner. So you would only see his tail when you flip the page, or maybe not. See, I was debating on just gluing it in the center, but maybe I did glue it like I did with the fox. But here's an example where the ears are on the point of the triangle. So this one would go in the top right corner. So you would, when the book is closed, see the tail and the ears. So I guess I did glue the tail over to the top left side. Then I'm just going to grab a handful of pages. And that is how the raccoon looks inside a book. I did glue his tail a little bit lower down until I liked the way that that looked. All right, so next up we have the corgi, which is my personal favorite out of all 12 animals. You guys know I absolutely adore corgis. I have them sprinkled in a lot of die sets, and I will continue to do that if I have the opportunity. So I cut the base from a light cream cardstock, just assembling it the exact same way we have been. And the pet set includes the corgi, another dog that kind of looks like a beagle, or a dog with floppy ears. It includes a cat and a bunny. So I am going to glue a white square to the inside of the pocket because corgis have white little bellies. And then I cut the base piece from orange. I'm going to glue the white part of his face next, and then in that cutout I'm going to glue a black mouth, and then I'll give him a pink little tongue. I love this corgi because it looks like he's winking. I cut his ear tufts from pink as well as his cheeks. And at the end of the video, I will show you every single animal that is included in the add-on sets. I did not show all of them in this video because you kind of assemble them the exact same way. I just chose a couple to share. I will add some paws to him. I just think the paws are so cute when you see it inside the book. Then I'll go ahead and glue him down. Then on the back side, I'm going to glue a solid orange square. Again, I cut these solid squares and triangles from the original book corner set. Then the corgi includes a corgi butt. I had to. So I glued his butt, and then I cut his tail from orange and his tip of his tail from white, and that is just very adorable. He is definitely my favorite. I love his little face. All right, so now we're going to move on to the barn animal set. And from this one, I will be creating a cow. Again, cut this base from a light cream cardstock. And from this particular set, the little pig is my favorite. This one has a chicken, a cow, a pig, and a horse. All right, I cut the square from a light tannish color. You can definitely go for a black and white cow here, but I thought it would be fun to try to do a brownish cow. So I cut the spot on his face from that same tannish brown color, cut the tufts of his ears from light pink, and then I cut his horns from a slightly darker brown shade. Then his eyes, I cut from a first I'm gluing down black because those will be the eyelashes. The next layer will be brown. And then the pupil will be black. And again, if you don't want to do all these layers, you can definitely use a pearl or even Nuvo drops for the pupils. Then her snout will be pink. I think these would also be really cute baby shower gifts for your guests. My friend actually had a barn-themed baby shower, and I made her invitations with my A7 pop-up barn. But I think as little favors, these book corners would be adorable. Also for parties, if you're having a kid party. I did cut her little smile from black. And I'll go ahead and glue this triangle to the base triangle piece. And she just turned out so cute. On the back side, I will add a solid brown. Also a nice area to add a message. And that's it for the cow. And then the last animal I'm going to show is the pig. So I cut the base layer from a heavyweight light pink cardstock. And here I'm grabbing all the tiny little face pieces. I love this way of die cutting by prepping everything and putting them into small little baggies. I also have little sequin bags. And if you buy my gems or my pearls, they come in those little baggies. And you can use those to sort the tiny pieces if you're like me and like to do all my die cutting beforehand. I cut a solid square from dark pink that I'm adding to the inside. And then the pig's face I did cut from a medium shade of pink. I cut the snout from dark pink as well as his ears. And then his cheeks are a lighter pink. Like I said, this one is my favorite from the Farm Animals set. Cut his eyes from white. And then I think he just has black pupils. Cut his smile from black. I love how simplistic their faces are. And I'm using the tip of my needle that I put inside my art glitter glue to keep it unclogged. That's a great little way to pick up tiny pieces. Now this pig comes with hooves, which you can also use for the horse or even the cow. So I am going to paper piece the hooves, and then these will go right below his face. I love that with a lot of these animals, the ears stick out or the tail sticks out. It's super cute. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the front of these hooves and just tuck them right under the triangle pocket. I'm not gluing these directly to the pocket. I do want these to tuck under the pages of the book. Then I'm going to add another pink square to the back. And then I cut his little tail from a darker pink. And this time I'm going to glue it right to the center. Okay, so that finishes off my last little animal. I'm going to show you all of the critters that I made. I have them all in this little baggie. Each one takes about, I would say 15 to 20 minutes to paper piece. Some of them are more detailed than others. Here's that adorable little chicken and the horse. So all of those are part of the barn animal add-on set. And then from the pet set, there's the bunny, the little beagle dog, and then the little corgi and the cat are from that set. From the Woodland critters, you get the fox, the bear, the raccoon, and what else? I'm sure I'll pull it in. I'm just making these look pretty, so I'm trying to have the two orange ones on opposite sides. Here's the kitty from the pet set. And then these are the different book corners you can create with the original set. You can make so many more than this. I'm going to flip around these to the back because I love that one more chapter. And I'm trying to see, oh, the owl is included in that Woodland critter set. I have the owl on another card. I don't know if I show it in this video or not, but you can also stick these book corners to the edges of your cards, which is cute because they can display the card and then use the book corner as a bookmark. You can also put little hats on these animals. So you can do party hats for birthday favors. You can do graduation hats. So many things you can do with these book corners. So again, I'll have them linked down below. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!